It is day 42 here at Traer Wilderness, and this is take 2. I was live for about 12 minutes, which was very disappointing because we don't have time to waste, but I was on there for 12 minutes and then my power died on my little Ninja Bat because we don't have enough sun. So I had to go turn on the generator so I could do this with you. And so here I am. We're going to try this again. I wanted to share with you our progress, but also some details about the way we're doing things and why. We didn't get as much done yesterday as we would have liked to. We were hoping to have the wood on the walls here yesterday, but he got all the electrical done and the plumbing, and we finished putting the drywall up in the bedroom this morning, but he had done most of it yesterday. Yes, hello, Carol. I'm back. I know. This was a crazy attempt to do things this morning or afternoon. But I want to share with you our plumbing, which is now covered. But this line here goes straight up into the bedroom there. And this line here goes out to a frost-free. And it's not water coming out the frost-free. It's going to be water coming in the frost-free. We're going to have a 55-gallon drum out here that has a screw-off top. And hello again, Toika. I'm doing this all over again, so there's a little bit of a repeat here till I get to the installation. I lost internet. I lost power, actually. But there will be a 55-gallon drum with a screw-top lid out here, along with a electric-powered sump pump that will be hooked up to our generator, and will be connected with a water hose here on the frost-free, and will feed water up into our bedroom into a 55-gallon drum. From there, the 55-gallon drum is gravity-fed. It's about 12 inches in elevation up above the floor here, and feeds down here at an angle, all solid piping to eliminate the interference with the pressure that we're getting there, and it will come in and go into our sink. It'll be a kitchen sink that will be kind of a thank you, Carol. Carol says the mountain man is doing a cracking job. Does he ever stop? No. But I'm hoping soon he will. And thank you. He said that's a mountain man hello, the hand wave from behind. Carol says bless him. Well, thank you very much. I am very blessed to have him, let me tell you. But this here feeds our sink. And then from there, it will also feed our washing machine, which will be part of my countertop, believe it or not. It's a front-loading washer that will have a elevated, kind of like a jumped up counter over top of it, so we're not wasting that space. And underneath the sink there will be a 12-volt RV pump that will give added pressure to the already gravity-fed pressure into the washing machine. And if for some reason this isn't enough pressure to our sink, which I'm pretty sure and we're pretty certain it'll be just fine, we could always put the 12-volt RV pump up here and feed it, and it'll go to both the sink and the washing machine. But for right now, that's what we're doing with it, and we're excited to have such little needs on society at this point. I'm gonna spin around this way. The wood stove is going to go here. The wood cook stove is going to go here. So we opted to do drywall versus the pine boards like we did on the outside. As you can see, they are all staged here and waiting to go. I got those all squared and cut to size, not yesterday, but the day before. Carol says, I'm so excited for your videos. You guys cover everything. We try to, and from here on out, we're going to be covering a lot more. But I wanted to share with you on the electrical also. It looks a little patty-catty there, but I want to show you just how anal and organized my man is. Everything is very well marked.
Don't look at this pile and
Oh.
say that.
That was our only struggle in building small. It's not living in the small space, it's building it and having enough room to move and have all your tools. That's the hard part. It's kind of funny. But this will be a perfect size for us. I'm just so excited. I can't wait. But I want to spin this around and share some more with you. Okay, so we're going to have outlets run in the house with the exception of 3 of them. All the other outlets will be run and fed out of the house to connect with the generator. And when the generator's running, those outlets will be enabled and we'll run our washing machine. And at that point, the only other two big appliances we have that require electric is our meat grinder and our vacuum sealer for when we're butchering. Other than that, we have no need for other power appliances in our home. We use a percolator coffee pot. We use an antique coffee grinder. We use tea kettles. We don't have appliances that require any electric. We use our phones for the time. We have a battery operated clock. So our need is very, very minimal. Down below you will find a link for the Ninja Bat that I am using to currently power our internet. It is, run by a 100-watt solar panel that is up on the container, and that is what gave me grief when I was on here before because it was half covered in snow. So I just climbed up there and cleared that off, and it's getting a little more power, but it's late in the day, and as you can see, it's pretty cloudy. So we have the generator running, and that can also be run off of the panel as well as AC power. So it's a really cool little unit. It's a 300-watt power station. You can plug into it like you would a car lighter. You've got 4 USB ports. You've got other plugs that you can utilize in there as well as your regular AC plug. So I've been utilizing that to keep my laptop and my equipment powered. And that 100-watt panel is really sufficient on sunny days. And once we're in here, we will have a 180-watt solar panel coming in through a charge controller into series 12-volt batteries. So we'll have to start with 2. So it's a 12-volt system that will enable us to have 2 batteries taking power at all times. That system, and we also have an inverter for that, which will enable us to power my laptop and other things, but it will also be utilized to do our lighting. So we've got the AC outlets, and then all the other, there's 3 charging stations, and our lighting, which will all be DC lighting, and it'll be running off of that 180-watt solar panel. So we are extremely minimal. Now he has a lot of power tools. He builds furniture. He builds all kinds of things. He welds, he fabricates, he MacGyvers. So we use a generator for those things. But the house itself has a very little footprint. And I wanted to talk about our insulation. Underneath the flooring that I'm standing on, we are using Reflectix bubble foil. You will find a link for it down below. You will also find reference to my friend JC from The Boss of the Swamp. You can find his channel, but also 2 of his videos, one on his review of the bubble foil, and the second one is his installation and keeping rodents out, because they use under their house as their root cellar, basically, and extra storage. So he does a really good video on the bubble foil, and that's where we got the idea to use it, because it keeps your floor warm. And we wanted to really go that route versus using insulation as little as we had to. I mean, you need insulation to keep your home warm. But with all of my reactivity to toxins and foreign objects, the least we utilize those things, the better off I will be. So on the floor underneath here, we have a layer underneath the plywood, and then about 2-3 inches underneath that layer, he stapled up another layer of the Reflectix. The Reflectix by itself, just as one layer, is about an R9. But when you double it up, like I just mentioned, with a gap in between it that there's airflow in there, you're looking, I believe, if I recall correctly, it's an R16. So you really gain a good amount by utilizing it, and you eliminate rodents nesting in it, mold getting in it. See, that's one of my great struggles. Mold and toxins are like the devil. So being able to utilize that was a real, do you need a hand? Okay, I'm gonna back up out of your way though, this time. Okay, hang on, he's bringing in a piece of drywall and maneuvering. Okay, so now I wanna show you what we did upstairs. I'm gonna be spackling in a second here. When I'm off of the live with you guys, I'm gonna start spackling, but I wanted to show you what we got going on up here. So let me spin this around. Okay. All right, so we hate drywall. We really do. We would love to have been able to put wood up here. However, with the weather turning, we did not have enough lumber milled, and it would be a real bear to do so now. So we buttoned this up with drywall. We will paint this. It will brighten it up. For those of you that have chemical sensitivities, also, Sherwin-Williams paint is a low odor, and I did not react to that. And also Eco Paints is another great option. I do not have the link below, but it's TrayerWilderness.com/Eco Paints. They also do stains. They're completely odorless and fabulous way to be able to still do things when you really, really struggle. Carol says, wow, look how much is done. It looks fabulous. I suffer with COPD, so have to be very careful. I totally understand, and so do I. I have to be extremely careful. I know that my body is flaring right now, and I know that was part from my hands. My hands and my wrists got really agitated from being on the chop saw for 4 days straight, the whole day. It just used a lot of muscles that I hadn't used in a while, and really inflamed things. But I think I was also flaring from the smell of the insulation. So once we have this a little more buttoned up in the wood on the walls, I'm gonna run my ozone machine in here and a diffuser, and I think I will be fine. I'm praying so. But Eco Paints is a fabulous company. They are one of the friends of our build, and we utilize their stains for our lanterns that we build. So great company to work with. So what we'll do is we'll paint this nice and white and brighten things up. Thank you, I appreciate that, Carol. And right back at you. The value of prayer is heavy. I greatly appreciate that. So now, we'll paint this white, brighten things up. You know what? I'm gonna come up here and I am gonna show you something. Just bear with me and all the moving while I maneuver up a ladder here. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. How is that for priceless? It's quite awesome. So I wake up and I see this, and then I go down and I grab my cup of coffee and I see this. This is just amazing. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, so while I'm up here, we put Reflectix on the ceiling. Yes, I know, right? My view is amazing. God has blessed us tremendously. So we are leaving this on here for right now. We have a layer up against the plywood and in between the roof joists. And then we put this second layer on to give us the greater R value. And then we will either put T111 or beadboard, or maybe, it just depends. We're tossing a couple things around. I also said about maybe galvanized tin just to keep it bright. So I don't know, we don't have to rush into the ceiling. I did get tape. There is Reflectix tape that goes on these lines so that that can be taped up. There'll be a wood border going along here and at the bottom and in the corners. So I'll be up here and spackle all the holes, but this will be ready to go. We're also gonna paint the floor. I got a really deep, dark chocolate brown paint to paint the floor. So we'll get that painted, and then this big hole is going to go away. This big hole is here so we can get our bed and our mattress and our dressers up here. And then there will be a 32-inch trap door right here. And the rest of that floor will get closed off. A piece put in there that can be removed again. It'll be screwed in, and then it can just be removed again if we need to take something down or bring something up. And then a ladder will be hinged here. And when it's not in use, it'll be swung up against the floor underneath, and it'll be made of metal and wood stairs, and he's going to build that. So for initially, we will probably just be using that, but the ladder will be built as we get to it, because we got a lot of other things to get in place, so it's not a big deal. But that's how that's going to be laid out. And our power setup is going to be set up right up in here where our batteries will be stored. We have AGM batteries, which are everybody's familiar with the lead acid batteries that have the ports and the water needs to be checked and they leak. Well, AGM batteries are sealed and they don't put off any toxins. So we don't need to do any special venting. So there'll be a box built that we can actually use to sit on that'll house the batteries, house the charge controller, the inverter, and a small breaker box that'll go in that corner and out of the way, and everything will be functioning out of that space. We did it upstairs so that it's not interfering with our living space, but that it's also functional. So I know we had questions about the Reflectix, but it is in the description below. You can check it out. It's a little pricey, but we wanted to give it a try and see how it works for us, because it's also something that's easy to transport if you're building cabins in remote locations, and you don't have to worry about the mold setting into it and things getting into it. It comes tightly wrapped and is secure. So we always have reason behind why we do the things we do, and that's why I wanted to share this with you guys. And once we get things into place, I will share how our water system is working, how our power is working, if it's sufficient, if it's not. Once we are in here, which shouldn't be too terrible long, I'm going to spackle this up here and then go down and spackle the wall he's putting in right now. And he's going to finish the electrical downstairs, and then we're going to run the front wall out here downstairs and back where the sink is going to go today, and get some of this wood out of the way so we have room to function and move downstairs. Get that finished because it won't take long to zap that up. And then we're going to move on to the flooring. And we hope to be able to move the wood stove in either tomorrow or Monday. We're getting our stovepipe tomorrow. And I give a great thank you to our friend Tom for being willing to pick it up for us. He was heading in that direction, so it worked out perfectly. So we really appreciate him doing that so we could both stay focused here. So that's the game plan. So once the flooring's in, and this up here is painted, the floor is painted, we can start moving things in, and then the rest of the stuff can be worked on while we're in here. So we will be very thankful for that, because last night it was extremely windy. Neither of us slept very much because it felt like everything above us was just going to get pulled off and blown away. I mean, it was hefty winds. Kelly was on earlier and said that it was really windy at her place today, so we probably sent it her way in Montana. But she was butchering her turkeys while she was watching earlier, and she had a 45-pound turkey. Can you imagine? That is a monster. That's like double the size of any turkey we usually find in the grocery store, right? Carol says, I'm so looking forward to your wood stove. I know, me too. Me too. We're really anxious to get everything in place. And our vision of how things would be laid out, I really think is going to just work perfectly. We'll probably be putting more shelving up on the walls to assist us in some of our needs. But we're definitely doing that downstairs. That'll be part of my kitchen and all of my jars, my Hoosier jars, my canning jars that I keep all my food in. But we're going to wait and see how things transition before we do anything more. Because I really, really, really want to keep this totally simple, because we each have our containers to work out of. His is his shop. Part of mine will be house storage and shop. And he will have his trap shed. And then eventually we would like to put a roof over top of the containers. And where our tent is right now, that will become a shop area for him, which he desperately needs. He needs space to be able to do all the fabricating he does, and his furniture building, which he will be jumping into, and then maybe a man cave down the road. We'll have to see. We've got all kinds of plans, but we were discussing that the other day, and probably the first thing we will do in spring is get our greenhouse built. That's going to be an essential. We were hoping to have that done this fall, but that's not going to happen. I don't think. Unless things mellow out with the weather, but I don't see that happening. I see us having a pretty ongoing harsh winter, lots of snow and cold. But anyway, I am going to jump off. I just wanted to share all that with you so that you guys could see how we are doing things. And again, like I said yesterday, I've got a lot of footage. We'll put other particular videos together to share with you the process of the different aspects, from milling to building, everything. And then moving forward, we've got a lot to share. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget to leave your questions, your comments, your prayers, your praises in the comments below. And you're very welcome. And thank you for your love and prayers. We greatly appreciate it. And lots of praises. I'm feeling God healing my body, and I know that he's been helping Aaliyah and her son, the mountain boy, and his housemates are all doing well. Continue to keep Jeremy, Terry Perry's son, in your prayers. He has COVID, and also Terry and June and Diana. And great praise came from Kelly this week with her husband Mike getting a promotion to foreman. That's just really awesome with everything that's going on. And just continue to pray for our country. You know, things aren't over yet. I really don't feel that Biden is going to take office, but we have to keep praying. God's bigger than anything and everything that we experience, and he can work miracles beyond our imagination. We've witnessed that many times, so just keep praying. And I know that I'm missing it. Oh, Flora was the other one that needed some prayers for her high blood pressure, and Pat Kenny. I know there's others. I have them in my journal. They're just hard to remember when I'm live. But know that you guys are all being prayed for, and those of you that are prayer warriors, please help us lift these people in prayer. Thank you for your prayers and your love that you're sending toward my family. We really appreciate it, and we pray for you guys on a daily basis as a whole. So thank you guys so much. I will see you either later today, possibly, with the progress report, but for certain tomorrow. So you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. Oh, hi, Kathy. Where are you joining from? She says, prayers for everyone. God bless both of you and stay safe in your build. It looks great. Thank you so much, and I'm glad to have you joining. It's so, so nice to see new people joining in. And seeing where everybody's joining us from. Okay, cool. Welcome. Kathy is from Coeur d'Alene, so awesome. Very cool. We have Michael joining us from Ireland. He is on lockdown for the next 4 weeks over there. So things are crazy everywhere. We just need to keep our eyes on him, keep our eyes on God, and fully have faith and trust in the outcome of the situations we're experiencing and just our future. Fear and worry are wasted emotions, guys. Keep that in mind. They are totally wasted emotions. So, okay, Carol, you're from the UK? Oh, wow. How long are you on lockdown? And that's really awesome. I didn't know that, Carol. I should have asked you that. But I've seen you commenting before, so it's just really fun to see where everybody's from. 4 weeks also. Okay, I want to mention this too before I jump off. If you guys are not part of our newsletter, join our newsletter by going to TrayerWilderness.com/newsletter. That way, if Facebook or YouTube or any of these social media avenues disappear and are shut down, or we're banned because we talk about God too much, whatever the case may be, if you're part of our newsletter, it gives us a way to continue to stay in touch. And I also have my Bible study book club going to be starting up here in the next week or two. I'm working on all the details right now, and we'll be announcing that in my newsletter coming out. So if you are interested in something like that, definitely join our newsletter so you can be the first to know about it. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Glad to know we've got so many new people joining in. And if you guys have questions, or there's things about homesteading or off-grid living, food preparation, whatever the case may be, please let us know how we can continue to create videos that will aid in your needs. I know that we've had some people contact off the website that were interested in food storage. So I will be touching on that once we are in the house, and really digging deep into that, because it's something that we need to consider. Our food chain is breaking, and I don't know. It's really hard to say what's ahead. So the more we can depend on ourselves and our communities and our own skill sets, the better off we will be, regardless where we are. So guys, I'm going to jump off here so I can get to spackling. I love you all. I'm so glad to have so many new people joining us, and you guys have a fabulous day, and God bless.